Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to pull back the curtain on something you do every single day, probably without even thinking about it: authentication. It's like the invisible security guard for every app you use, and we are about to break down exactly how it all works.
So think about it. You type in your username, your password, you hit that login button, and boom, you're in. What just happened in that split second? Well, I can tell you it wasn't magic. It was actually a super fast, perfectly choreographed dance between your browser and a server, and we're going to follow every single step of that dance.
So here's our game plan. We're going to follow one single login request all the way from the start to the finish. We'll see how your identity gets checked, how a special digital key gets made and stored, and most importantly, why this whole process is the absolute bedrock of the entire application.
All right, let's dive right in. Section 1, the login challenge. Every secure journey has to start at the front door, and in the digital world, that door usually looks like a simple, very familiar form.
This screen right here is our starting line. It's basically throwing down a challenge, asking you, prove you are who you say you are. When you fill this out, you're making a claim to an identity, and the second you hit login, that's when the real action kicks off.
Once you click Login, your browser's work is kind of done for a minute. It shoots that info over to the backend, which now has to act like a gatekeeper. And that gatekeeper has one and only one critical job: verify your identity.
Here's how that first handshake goes down. Your browser bundles up that username and password and sends it to the backend. Now this is what's called an unauthenticated request. You're basically just knocking on the door. You don't have a key yet. The backend takes your info and checks it against an LDP server. Just think of LDP as the company's official digital phone book. It's the master list, the one source of truth for who is who.
Okay, so let's say the LDAP server gives a big thumbs up. You're legit, but now the backend has a new problem. How does it remember that you're logged in? I mean, asking for your password with every single click would be a total nightmare. The solution? It creates a special digital key, a golden ticket, just for this session.
And that golden ticket? It's called a JWT, or a JSON Web Token. It's basically a temporary pass that's digitally signed by the server, which makes it completely tamper-proof. This little token essentially tells the rest of the application, hey, I've been verified by the main gatekeeper. You can trust me for a little while.
So the process is pretty straightforward. LDAP confirms you're valid, and the backend instantly generates a unique JWT just for you, just for this session. Then it sends that token back to your browser as the reward for a successful login. Congratulations, you've earned your pass.
This really puts the two roles in perfect contrast, right? Think of LDAP as the bouncer at the club's front door. They check your ID one time. The JWT, on the other hand, is the wristband they give you, which lets you move around freely inside for the rest of the night. One is for entry, the other is for ongoing access.
Okay, so the backend made the JWT and sent it over. Your browser is now holding this valuable key, but where does it put it so it doesn't get lost? I mean, if you refresh the page or open a new tab, you don't want it to just disappear, right?
Well, the answer is local storage. You can think of it as a small, secure digital safe that's built right into your web browser. The application can put things in this safe to remember for later, and our JWT is the perfect thing to store in there. It's like a designated pocket just for this website's key.
And the flow is really that simple. The backend sends the token, and the code on the front end carefully places it right into local storage. Now it's safely tucked away, ready to be pulled out and presented anytime the app needs to prove you're logged in.
And now for the payoff. We've done all this work just to get a key, so let's actually see what doors it can unlock. We're going to try to get into the VIP room, the protected parts of the application that are totally off limits to just anyone.
This is where that token becomes a real workhorse. When you try to access something secure, like your chat history, the front end automatically grabs the JWT from local storage. It then attaches it to the request in a special spot called a header. Think of it like clipping your ticket to a letter before you mail it. The backend's job is now super simple. It just checks the token's signature. If it's valid, you're in, and your personalized data gets sent right back. No password needed.
So just imagine, this is what you see before you log in. All the cool features, the personalized AI responses, your user history, it's all there, but it's locked away. The application knows it exists, but it has no idea who you are, so it can't show you anything.
But now you make a request, and you've got your JWT attached. That token is the key. The backend sees it, recognizes that it's valid, and basically says, ah, I know you, you're allowed in, and it turns the key in the lock.
And there you have it. The feature is unlocked. You now have full access to your private, personalized content. This entire, complex dance we just walked through exists for one simple purpose: to securely connect you with what's yours.
So we've walked through the whole process. It might seem like a lot of technical steps, but it's so important to understand that this isn't just one feature among many. It is the absolute foundation of the entire application.
You know, a quote from the team who actually built this says it all. Every other feature in the app depends on it. And it's so true. You could have the most brilliant AI and the most beautiful design in the world, but if nobody can log in securely, it's all completely useless. This process is what enables everything valuable. It's the gatekeeper for those AI chat sessions. It's the key to getting your personal history. It's the guardian of your private data. And it's the architect of that seamless experience where you don't have to log in over and over again. It's truly the bedrock.
So that leaves us with a final question. If we agree that authentication is the foundation, what do you think is the most critical brick in that wall? We saw a few different parts working together: the LDAP check, the JWT token, the browser storage. Which one is the real MVP? Something to ponder. That's all for this explainer. Thanks for joining us.